Hey there, friendlies, how's up? I'm on the Bruce Peninsula in sort of Georgian Bay with my family for a week. We rented a cabin and I'm shooting videos whenever I can, which ain't often, but I'm seeing a lot of really cool stuff, so you know, you'll just have to bear with me. Right now, little fire, little local beer, maybe a few thoughts. You gonna hang out with me? Oh, I know you are. Let's do it. Wait. Is it okay to baton with an axe? Because I don't know anymore. That was stupid. So I'm gonna leave it in as a warning. If you're breaking branches apart, guys, always break away from your face. Don't pull a Jesse. You'll note that I'm separating out eensy weensy little bits from pencil sized and so on. Oh, I'll tell you something for free, guys. It is stankin' hot out here. That is not a complaint, by the way. Right back. Gonna try something a little unique for the channel. I'm gonna put a little fatwood into the bird's nest. I don't have a whole lot of grass or anything, so this bird's nest is mostly dried reeds, and I'm gonna add some of my my shavings from the from the workshop. Is it bushcrafty? No, but if it gets the fire started, then I'm gonna call it a win. Do you see that? Yow! That's not the way you're supposed to do it, man. It's okay. It's fine. Where is it? Right there. Okay. So I will hold it like this so that I do not burn myself. There we go. There we go. We got flames. Okay, we got honest to goodness flames. Right back. You guys who've been watching for a while will notice that I'm using much larger tinder bundles and such. I sort of spoke to that in that episode where I was calling myself out for not showing my skills in their best light on video. One of the keys to good fire lay, since I'm now discussing fire skills, is that you don't have to rush it, eh? like wait for each phase to catch before you go laying the next phase on. I'm very guilty of not giving it enough time. I'm just like, woo, it's lit, and throwing everything on. And I've put out several fires because of that. So, in fact, my pencil size sticks I might have been a little quick on the draw there. It's looking good though. So I'm just doing it by the book, right? Like this is the next size up. I'm not rushing it. What I like for this stage is, even if I got something a little bigger, but it's got like a lot of real, like, fibrosity. If it's really fibery, I'll throw that on anyway because the fibers will catch. You know, here's a tiny one that's got a lot of jaggedness to it, which is good. Jaggedness? That's a word, right? So here we are, Bruce Peninsula. It's my first time here. It's very pretty. There's a lot of stuff to do. There's some caves, there's some boating, there are some shipwrecks. This week I made a decision to get this baby into the mix. Because as those of you who've been watching me for a while know, that I had great plans to use this Garberg a lot, but then I got that Felkneven F1, which is one of my dream knives, and that just sort of, you know, that changed everything. So I'm just cleaning up my stuff here. Gonna have to clean my axe off. Not all the wood I was chopping was fully dry yet. So tonight's beer, this is the Midnight Lager by the Side Launch Brewing Company, which is in Collingwood, Ontario. This is not a paid endorsement. So this is a 473 ml, which is, it seems that like a lot of, I don't know about you guys in the States, but a lot of smaller Canadian companies are getting this can, and it's 5.3%. So we're talking about a straight up standard Canadian beer, which is going to go into my Siberian kuksa. But first, oh, I forgot to do the Joe Robinette tap. Sorry, guys. Yep, that's lager, all right. There's a slight, it's like there's a snare drum roll across the top of it. That probably doesn't make any sense. Doesn't make any sense to me either. I want to see the color. It's pretty dark. I mean, it's lager. It's dark for a lager. It's not, you know, like most of the beers that I like best are dark. You know, porter, stout. You know, the more you can see through the beer, the less I like it, kind of thing. So I mean, it's pretty nice, but it's got a good flavor. I would drink that again. Yeah, that's pretty good, guys. You know what? I want to talk about something that's been on my mind since we got here. Just gonna get more comfortable first. And that's that, like, I've never been here before, but it feels kind of like familiar. Like when we arrived here, I came down to the waterfront to see what we had to work with. And even though I've never been here, I recognized this landscape. Very cedar intensive. There's a couple of tamaracks over there, there's a birch, and a few spruce and stuff, but it's very, very cedar intensive, and there's like some stunted growth here. And I walked down here, and especially there's this little tree right in front of where I am. It's probably going to show up in a lot of the B-roll. That makes me feel like I'm walking into like a group of 7 painting or something, you know? And I think that's because even growing up in Quebec, everything from children's books to the CBC and everything give you a sense of what this country is, so that in the cultural, I don't want to say cultural psyche because that makes no sense, but in the cultural makeup of the country, there's the landscape, you know? It's in everything. And so I grew up with an image of Canada as stretching from storm-battered coasts, you know, on the rock, through like the Charlevoix and the Saguenay, beautiful in fall, you know, reds and oranges, to this, and then across epic fields of wheat to the jagged mountains of the west, and then another shore. And so when I got here, I recognized this landscape as something that I have always known, even though I've never been here. It's ingrained into us as Canadians. And it's spectacular here. I mean, I've seen many things I've never seen before. There are some plant species that only exist around Georgian Bay, you know? It's spectacular. But it's not like, wow, what? I haven't really left home because of the way we're brought up. I'm not saying this in a negative way. It's just, it reminded me of like a lot of children's books I had growing up and stuff. There was one that I was trying to get my dad to, he bought it for me back in the 80s, and neither of us can remember what it was, but it was about a tugboat in British Columbia, and there was like a log jam and everything. And I love that book because of the landscape in it. British Columbia is my old stomping grounds, you know. Thanks to the magic of divorce, I spent half of my life there and half of my life in Quebec up to a certain point. And I just get all these feelings of like when we used to take the train out to Vancouver, sitting in the observation car. We went through the Rockies and just not wanting to leave, just staring out that window, you know? I'm glad we came. Oh, I wish I had some marshmallows. So yeah, that's all she wrote. Thanks for hanging out with me. I will try to get at least 1 or 2 other videos shot for you while I'm up here, if I can. And aside from that, as I always say, if you like what I'm doing, then please get the conversation started down below. What I want to know this week is, what's your favorite... No, I was going to say what's your favorite bushcraft or camping, like, escape. But no, what's your favorite vacation spot? Period. Where do you like to go to blow off steam? Whether it's, you know, a bushcraft, like, base camp, fishing lodge, hunting lodge, Rio de Janeiro, I don't know, Iceland, Italy, whatever. Your favorite vacation spot, and tell me why. Aside from that, please share the video. That helps me more than you could possibly imagine. Aside from that, if you are not subscribed, then for gosh sakes, do it. If you are subscribed, then hit that little bell and leave me a smiley thumb. If you don't like what I'm doing, leave me a frowny thumb. Thanks for watching, guys.